It is I, the Hawk, again. Evening, everybody. This is quite a serious matter, and it's going to shake the ANC to the core and a lot of the political parties. It is a detailed report on assassinations in South Africa that are political. I have only got through half of this report, and I need to say this in a very serious matter, that you cannot sit back and not see how damaging this is to the South African country as a country. Let me start by saying, let me read this for you. This letter is being sent to the African Union headquarters in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, and it's addressed to the chairman, and it's regarding the political sanctions, assassinations in South Africa. Anyway, the ANC I'm going to try and get through some of this stuff. It's an in-depth thing, but it traces its origins back to the African unity. The South African government became a member on the 6th of June 1994. It addresses the constant pattern of gross and reliable assessment of violations of all political assassinations which violate human rights and the fundamental freedoms occurred in the Republic of South Africa under any circumstances. Okay, that's just part of it. Okay, so human rights. Yeah? African Commission on Human Rights exists since 1986. It was established under the African Charter of Human Rights and the African Charter rather than the Constitutional Act of African Unity. Anyway, and it goes on and on and on all about human rights. The objectives of this unity, of this African Union, to achieve greater union and solidarity between the countries of Africa, defend sovereignty, accelerate political and social economic integration, defend African common positions, encourage international cooperation and Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Listen to what that says. Promote peace, security, stability in the continent, promote democratic principles of democratic principles of institutions of popular participation in good governance, to promote and protect humans and people's rights in accordance with the African Charter of Human Rights, People's Rights, and other relevant human rights instruments. To establish the necessary conditions to enable the continent to play its rightful role in global economic and international negotiations. To promote, sustain, and develop the economic and social cultural levels as well. And I'm abbreviating most of this. The field human activity to raise the living standards of Africans. The harmonious policies between the existing and the future regions of economics, right? And it goes on. And to eradicate and prevent disease and promote good health on the continent. Okay. State-sponsored assassinations and killings in South Africa. Mr. Ramaphosa, you're going to remember my name, and you will remember us for the rest of your life. There has been a number of political assassinations in post-apartheid South Africa. In 2013, it was reported that there were over 450 political assassinations in the province of Natal since the end of apartheid in '94. In July 2013, the Daily Maverick reported there has been 59 political killings in 5 years. In August 2016, it was reported that there was at least 20 political assassinations in the run-up to the local government elections on the 3rd of August that year, and most of them in KwaZulu-Natal. Political assassinations often ascribed to battles around parsonage within the ruling African National Congress, ANC. However, all the assassinations are a result of conflicts between the ruling party, the National Freedom Party, led by Zinele Gamal, and I can't spell this guy's name, but beside the point. It's largely in Natal claims 21 of its members had been killed since the party was founded in early of 2011. The Inkatha Freedom Party claimed 10 of its elected representatives have been murdered. In June 2013, it's another gentleman's name, an anonymous shack dweller movement in Durban claimed that the murder of I can't spell these names and I apologize. A local leader in the organization was politically assassinated as well. In May 2016, and we will put these documents out so that you can read them. In May of 2016, 2 ANC councillors were convicted of murder following the assassination of Luby, I think, is a local leader of the I can't spell these names. I can't say these names. I'm sorry. In 2016, the ANC general said that the reality in that section of the candidacy for council was always a life and death issue, but assassinations were only the most extreme tip of the iceberg of violence surrounding South African elections. In recent years, it has risen to professional assassinations. Professor Mark Shaw and Kim Thompson of the University of Cape Town produced a paper that it is commercialized assassination hits and complex killings in South Africa from 2000 to 2015. Anyway, and it goes on and on and on. And they say in Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal, it is the worst of all. So, just bear with me here. This is actually quite disturbing, actually. So, according to the ANC, 38 of its members have been assassinated in KwaZulu-Natal since the beginning of 2011. There's numerous taxi murders as well, so it's another issue. Conviction rate of assassinations, there's been 1 conviction in response to 14 assassinations in Mpumalanga and 4 in KwaZulu-Natal for 42 assassinations. Tell me that this government has any power, or they are complicit in these murders. Excuse me. So, here's the beginning of the list, right? These are names. That's 10 names. The mayor, the deputy mayor, the independent council, the ANC councillor, the mayor of Bushridge, the leader of the Durban KwaZulu, he was a local ANC leader, chairman of the Youth League, and it goes on and on and on. Page number 2. Look at these names. These are hundreds of names that have been assassinated. Here we go again. Another list. List of assassinations by government officials in South Africa. The head of the Free State Government Policy Nominating Evaluation Unit in Bloemfontein, 2005. The spokesman for the Mpumalanga Department of Cultural, Sports and Recreation in Nelspruit, 2010. The city power in Johannesburg, the internal audited Department of Transport in Pietermaritzburg, the private firm contracted out of the Public Prosecutor's Office, the Department of Agriculture. There's nobody that's immune to this. Nobody. These are criminals. This whole government is deliberately killing people. They don't like what they're doing for political reasons, for whatever reasons. Okay, historical complex of sponsored assassinations and killings. A killing of a man is a murder unless you do it with the sound of a trumpet, and that's Voltaire. The military idea is a target. All would condemn the state-sponsored assassination, should it be legal or illegal, yet at the same time using force for international relations to take form of international killings of one's enemies. And so it goes, and so it goes, and so it goes. And these are all just references to the targets and how they're specifically described and how they've been used in the systematic system of killing and assassinations. Well, the ANC government is basically complicit in these murders. The corruption is so bad that should somebody disagree, he's immediately terminated. Should his position affect the hierarchy, he's eliminated. These documents detail the complex consideration of assassination required as investigation is beyond the text of international agreements and includes and considered state practice. That means to be part of the Union of the African Union, they should not be doing this, but they are, and they violated this. It is unclear, however, whether the courts generally treat assassination as an offense distinct for murder, political murder, and attempted political murders of sorts kindred to offense have met their provisions with the sentence of this length, namely 30 to 35 years. And it goes on and on and on. Okay, many pages. I haven't got through all of it, but what I can tell you is it is appalling. The list of names is appalling. Everybody from the ministers of any cultural thing, anything that's to do with government, anything to do with local elections, anything that's going to disturb the status quo, they eliminate it. This is not crime. This is assassination. These are political leaders. The ANC government is the most corrupt, murderous government in the world today. And that is categorical truth. Ramaphosa went to the UN and to the EU and lied, blatantly lied, knowing that his state-sponsored criminals are killing not only black people, but white people too. I am now calling on all the black people in South Africa to understand what you're dealing with. These people have no loyalties to you but to kill you for power. Power is a sickness. And in 24 years, what have they done for you? They've stolen everything. They stole all the money from Eskom, so your power falls apart. They've taken all your taxes and they ride nice cars and they have nice houses. Zuma is back in power after he stole all that money. Malema and his crew stole all the bank money from the SBV banks. And they're all lying. Nobody's going to jail. And if you say the wrong thing, I feel sorry for you, Mr. Malema. And Andile, Mama, whatever your name is. Because they're going to kill you. You know that, right? From what the documents we have here, it's just a matter of time and somebody's going to kill you. The ANC will not give up power without killing you. You may be jumping around right now, but they're going to kill you. So that's either one or two things. They're paying you to run around and burn people's houses and do whatever you're doing to create an environment of violence and intimidation and false hope again. We're going to cut you off from the international communities. We're going to cut you off from the African Union. We're going to cut you off from every single place you can go. These documents prove that the South African government is deliberately committing political assassinations. Game up. Game over. I make you a promise to South Africa. If you vote the ANC out and the EFF and the BLF won't be there for the elections, I can guarantee you. There is other moderate parties coming up. They are multiracial parties. They're not just black parties. They're not just white parties. They are completely mixed. These are Afrikaans, English, Indian, colored, Khoisan parties. Is parties here in the United States right now getting ready. They're writing up their constitutions and their charters and everything, and it's all based on good stuff. And I call on all the parties to join as a union against the ANC. And once you're in power, we want them all arrested and held for crimes against humanity. And we will do a truth commission again. And this time, if you've committed these crimes, you will be dealt with in a very severe way. Cyril Ramaphosa, we charge you with crimes against humanity. The police, we charge you with crimes against humanity. Malema, we charge you with crimes against humanity. Ndile, crimes against humanity. And any of your members that are advocating this, anybody that's committed a murder, raped a child, done these terrible things. And we will find out who's doing these assassinations too. Because once the rats leave the ship, the answers will come out. They always do. Mr. Ramaphosa, I told you earlier last year, in your intimate wisdom and your land reform, your irresponsible behavior by forcing this land reform on these people will be your downfall. These documents are your downfall. And I ain't done. I have thousands and thousands of documents coming. Evidence, all the banking, all the criminal stuff, all the fraud, all the murders, all the rapes, everything's coming. It's coming out. We've got everything. And when we're done, we're filing with the ICC again for the entire ANC. every member in your party, every mayor that stole money, every policeman that looked the other way, every politician that hid money or had deliberately forced people off their land or did something that was a human rights violation. You signed the charter. You also signed the UN charter. You also signed the African charter, which states you cannot do what you're doing right now. And you're illegally trying to change the constitution to move the goalpost, which is going to cause a war. A war you will not win. Because in the end, the UN will walk in there and take over. Despite what you think that the Chinese will stand up for you, they're not there for you, my friend. They're there for themselves. They don't want no war. They just want your minerals. And if you think they will stand up for you, they will not. And all the Muslim terrorist bases that you have in there that we know about, Hamas, ISIS, and Iran, they're not going to help you. They're going to leave you hanging because they don't want nothing to do with the United States. It took Trump 6 months and he whipped him. And they're really close too. They're right there, all around Africa. Will take them about half a day to get there. Mr. Ramaphosa, you made the biggest mistake of your life. You made me angry. And now I'm bringing the world with me. These papers and all the other papers that we have are going to destroy you. This is the 21st century. This is not Robert Mugabe's time in the 60s, where you can go toying and destroy people and think you can get away with it. Your time is up. This is the 21st century. You can't do what you're doing and think you can get away with it anymore. No more. In this old saying that the white people, it's very old now. And the white people are mad now. We're sick of it. We've taken enough. It's over. And it's not about white people. It's about your people. Consider this. 24 years, the black people in South Africa have not moved 1 inch forward. So they still think that the white people did something wrong because you lied to them. You stole the money. You didn't build them schools. You didn't build them trade schools. You didn't help them in the farms. You didn't do anything till now because you're losing. And now you're blaming the whites again. Because you're a liar. I call you a categorical liar. I want you to debate me on TV, anywhere in the world, even CNN, crap news network, false, fake, whatever. Anyone, I challenge you to debate me, and I want you to come with your paperwork and prove in the international courts that your land belongs to only you, the black people, the Bantu. It doesn't. It belongs to everybody there. For 400 years, you all came into there, and the only people that really own that land is the Khoisan. And they want to live in peace with the white man, the Indian, the colored, and the Bantu. They just want to live. Everybody's sick of the Tutsis, and you're a big Tutsi. You and Zuma. Zuma should be in jail for rape, for murder, for theft. His son is a criminal, and you're putting him back into parliament to hide what he knows about you. These people, this paper will be your downfall. Remember my name, Craig Montgomery, the Hawk. I'm coming. I told you. You didn't believe me. I'm out of here. Enjoy your evening.